What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for showing up, liking, commenting, sharing. Every interaction matters because only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. I hope you earn that subscription if you like the content here at the channel. Today we're getting into the continuation of the newer run on Uncanny X-Men here. I realize at the time of this recording, I'm way behind. It's like past issue 12 and stuff. But I want to try to go through this as much as I can from the beginning because I do like this title. This particular start, whatever, restart, however you want to call it. X-Men part, Uncanny X-Men number 5, Red Wave, part 5, finishing up this current story. Gail Simone, of course, is the writer. David Marquez is the artist. Matthew Wilson is the colorist. And Marquez and Wilson did this particular cover that I have with Remy and the 3 cats that are the pets of the family that are housing him and everybody else there on the team. Where we picked up at was Rogue was getting her ass kicked by Sarah. Wolverine was blinded by his fight with Sarah, and now all the mutants that Sarah had gathered and brought back to the mansion, so to speak, because there is that doctor and her team, so to speak, that are in control of that Xavier school. Xavier is prisoner currently at the time of this story. We pick up in Buffalo, New York, where I guess Rogue, for some reason, is trying to lose her, or at least try to talk more eloquently and without going sugar, that because that's an example they use here. And she is basically kind of going through therapy too. It seems like she kind of went through a little bit of therapy. But we're sitting here, and she's kind of in her mind with Sarah on top of her, ready to do her in. She technically, because she says, as she's talking to herself, Rogue, about different dimensions and different planes of existence, she comes across Harvey X, the young man who died in front of her and Nightcrawler and them in the first issue. And he explains to her that he's going to give her, he had already given her his powers when he had touched her in issue 1, and it was a subtle clue that he had touched her skin to skin and given her his powers of regeneration, and he's also was more powerful than he was letting on to Kurt. And he knew that he had a way of telling the future, and he knew that Rogue was going to need his power and his motivating ways, so to speak, to come back and fight Sarah, and then keep doing what she's doing with her current team in Louisiana. Wolverine is still blinded, but he can smell pretty good, he's saying, and so him, Gambit, Jubilee, and their students, Jitter, Calico, these guys, Ransom, they're going to try to face off against their attackers, so to speak. And Jubilee kind of recounts her days as a mole rat, and when she first came across the X-Men, she realized how much it really helped with her life in a more positive way, even though every X-Men has been through their own trauma, so to speak. She rather have gone through it than not, because it made her the woman she is today. And she's hoping that she can continue helping with the team and protecting them. And here's the little talk with Harvey X, as I was uh, explaining earlier in the issue. Here's a pretty cool thing that Calico is able to do with horse here, her horse Ember, I believe. Yeah, Ember, and is able to make him go a juggernaut. I guess. I don't know how she's able to manipulate that exactly, but that's pretty cool. Nightcrawler's kind of telling the children that even if one of the X-Men go down, like the real X-Men go down, to get out of there, because then if they can't stay alive, they don't definitely have a chance to stay alive. So then we continue here, kind of with the continuation of the battle. Ransom is like, yeah, go ahead, try to hurt me if you can. Here's Harvey X kind of talking about what the future may hold up um, coming because he just happens to have that power. It's the way. It's the way. It's just the way to create a story in which he's going to say something like the outlier, or who's the outlier, and then it could take a year or two to figure out who the outlier is. But this is also the point where he had laid his hand on her hand, making her absorb her power, so then she can come back and be able to fight Sarah. Now, Wolverine, even though he's blinded, is able to sniff his surroundings and kind of be able to call out to people to, give them the heads up that the enemy is approaching them. Finally, Gambit again has to use his eye of Agamotto to try to save them, and he says to it, basically, make this one even if it costs me my life. All right, and Rogue is going through kind of like she needed to get her mind back together, so to speak, shake off the loosey gooseys, and realize that she's doing the right thing and is willing to do whatever it takes to protect her team, to protect the kids that are now relying on her and everything. And so she was able to reconnect herself, so to speak. You can tell that if you can, her broken arm now heals. Sarah's taken back. And basically, we learn that Sarah was not pregnant by Xavier. She was lying, but she did eventually become pregnant. And she lost that child during a hurricane. And basically, if she died, she came back the way she did, and it affected her. And now she wants to. Um, she's got this warped motherly persona now that she is going to continue to have, I guess, that has a connection to Xavier. Um, I don't know why that really needed to be done, the connection to Xavier, because at this point, like, yes, he interacted with her throughout the 5 issues, so to speak, on a couple of occasions. Um, at this point, now how the stories have advanced to where we're at in present time, even though these titles are like I'm catching up on this title, he's in space now with Lilandra trying to save his daughter in the new Imperial story. But yeah, Rogue was able to beat Sarah and then drop her back off at the school and kind of tell them that, like, don't send her again, to make sure, like, don't even let one of us catch a cold from her, because we're going to come back and take care of business. You're just a visitor, which is setting up for a story that's coming a few months after this story, which is the Grey Malkin raid with Rogue's team and Scott's team from Alaska. Basically, the family's wondering if they need to go out and help, but Gambit and Wolverine kind of let them know that everything's settled now, and that's pretty much it. That's how it wraps up. Sarah's defeated and returns to the Grey Malkin and gives the threat. And then the next issue, issue 6, starts with the 4 students going to a school. They're gonna start school, like real school. So I mean, for our 4 new characters here, Jitter, Ransom, Deathstream, and Calico. Um, it was a good introduction, to let us know the base of these characters' personality traits, what their powers are, what their powers can be. If Calico can make that energy into, say, the shape of the Juggernaut that she did with her horse Ember, does that give him the power of the Juggernaut? Like, for instance, if she took the form of a Nightcrawler, can the horse teleport? You know what I mean? Like how supposedly he was like the Juggernaut and strong. Certain things like that. I just think that this is a good start to this run on the title. I have to give Gail Simone's credit for the story. I was pretty, intrigued and interested throughout the 5 issues. Um, it'd be interesting if Harvey X shows up any other time, but I don't think so. Out of the new students in this particular series, Death Dream and Ransom seem to still be my favorite. Calico is getting up there with her ways that she can use her powers, and an interest in there and seeing how they can play out. And Jitter, I'm still waiting to kind of see how that plays out and see where her character falls. But yeah, let me know down below what you thought of this first 5 issues of Uncanny X-Men, written by Gail Simone. We're going to continue with the series until it's either canceled or we just continue with the series. You know what I mean? But thank you for stopping by. Keep viewing, keep staying tuned, and until next time, peace, Snickums.